Hi, Curiosity Minds. In this video, we discussed about experimental research paper. This research experimental paper, it is one of the part of 7 research papers. It is one of the research papers. Those are research papers are generally categorized into 7 factors. First one, analytical research paper, cause and effective research paper, and problem solution research paper, and a survey research paper, argumentative research paper, and experimental research paper, and report paper. At right now we discuss about experimental research paper. Okay. Okay, what is the experiment? What is the trial? What is the event? Generally, what is the experiment? Experiment is a scientific procedure undertaken to make a discovery or test a hypothesis or demonstrate a known fact. Generally, it's perform a scientific procedure approaching method, especially or particularly in a laboratory way or theoretical way, either experimental way or logical way to determine the to determine to determine something is new, something is fact is good, something is object is to identify known object to unknown object based on various factors. Here, what is the main task? What is the main task? What is the experiment already you know? Generally, experimental ways are different factor. Based on your problem, then you will go through based on approaching methods. Generally, in the way, the significant difference between what is the trial, what is the experiment. Generally, trial is an opportunity to test something out whether it is good or not, either qualitative or ineffective way. Next, it is a text while a experiment is a text under control the various control conditions made to either demonstrate a known truth to identify the based on examine the quality and validity of hypothesis either descriptive way or analytical way or questionary way to determine the efficiency of something is previously we are known things or objects. Okay, in the way how to conduct experimental research. Before going to the how to conduct experimental research, you must know the what is the experimental research. Generally, experimental research is a based on observed, like known, observed and measured phenomena and devices observed phenomena and derives knowledge from actual experience rather than from theory of beyond the problem finding factor method. This type of research can be identified empirical research way, a qualitative research way, or quantitative research way. Generally, three types of research designs are categorized into factors. First one, pre-experimental research design and true experimental research design and quasi-experimental research design. Generally, these are who are practical to approach either descriptive way or experimental way. We are planning to go through your research work is experimental way, then you must identify the various factors, that is how to conduct experimental research. Then those are systematical approach factors are there. Those are observation and question and hypothesis and experiment and conclusion and analysis. Then these are the significant steps to conduct the experimental research comes qualitative output. Then observation. You must identify the known factor or collecting the various information to identify the problem. Then when we plan to identify the when we gather the information, then we are planning to segregate the our classification by classification through various factors, then analyze it by either problem solving approach, cause effect approach, or report based approach, or solution analysis based approach, or survey based analysis approach. Then questionnaire, finally questionnaire output comes. Then we must analyze the hypothesis approach way, hypothesis analytical way. Then hypothesis analytical way is completed. Then go to experimental like result oriented operation way. Then once operation approaching way is completed, result oriented operations are completed, then we must conclude the entire operations. Entire operation generally called as a conclusion. The conclusion comes the reality way, then whether the qualitative results come or not. Based on validation and verification techniques are used. These are, you know that those are based on various factors. Experimental research designs are categorized into four factors. First one, pre-experimental and true experimental, or quasi-experimental and statistical experimental. Here, pre-experimental categorized into three factors. One shot case study, one group pre-text, post-text, and static group. And true experimental methods categorized into three factors: pre-test, post-test, control group, post-test only control group, Solomon 4 group. And quasi-experimental consisting of two factors. First one, time series analysis approach and multi-series analysis approach. Coming to statistical experimental research design approaching, categorized into three factors: randomized blocks are Latin square and factorial design approaching method. Then what is the advantage of research? What is the advantage of experimental research? Then we are going to experimental research. We are first following the fact finding approaching way. Those are identify problems to define the objectives of solution, designs of the design and developing method, and exhibition of the problem, and evolution of the various factors through validation verification techniques, and finally communicating the entire results. Once we are planning to conclude the entire results, then the qualitative output comes. These are flowchart of the entire research, experimental research method. Okay, approaching experimental research way. The significant advantage of experimental research. Here, 1 to 6 experimental research advantages are there. Then, first one, research have a strong hold over variables to obtain desired results. Second one, two, the subject or industry does not impact the effective effectiveness or experimental research. Any industry can implement it for research purpose. Then the results are truly specific way, and the after analyzing the results you can apply your fact finding to similar ideas or situations are there or not. Next, you can identify the cause and effective of hypothesis, and researchers can further analyze the relationship to determine more in-depth ideas based on analysis approaching way. That means analytical research approaching way, cause research approaching way, and mm, survey based research approaching way. Finally, the data you collect is a foundation of foundation on which to build more ideas to conduct more research, like due to expecting the qualitative output. The six experimental advantage of experimental research, you can see the how to conduct experimental research way. Okay, thank you. If you have any doubt, please post on comments and please subscribe and share and like. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.